is recording, so now y'all know, look out, you're being recorded.
Ooh, the pressure.
Be careful.
Becky and I were just talking today how we can't stand you can't stand your own voice. And so, like, recording's not my favorite thing, but here we go. Actually, that's a good idea because then I can record it and then I can send out the links to the Google Drive with all the forms on it so that, like, if you guys haven't done the COVID-19 form, you could type it out if you wanted.
Yeah.
But we'll figure that out.
Oh, we're getting there. We got 27 already, 28. Keep going here. I did set it, Nadine, so you can share. I remembered to do that.
Sounds good.
Sorry, you might hear my dog whining in the background. It's supper time and I haven't fed him yet, so he's gonna sit and cry at my feet till we're done. 30. How many could we possibly have, Nadine? Is it like 45?
I have my list from the registrar is 49.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we already heard Riley couldn't be here, so that makes 48.
Becky and I spent the day together on campus. It was epic.
It was awesome.
Had a good time.
Face to face.
I know. Seriously.
Not have to like read body language in these little teeny boxes. Be able to smile.
Yeah.
I will tell you, our LSC education area there is pretty hot and pretty damp.
A little stuffy.
Yeah, we had
a little stuffy.
We had
Yeah.
fans going in the flexible seating room that we just made because the carpet's all wet, I guess. So really exciting.
And if one of us gets sick, we're both going to be sick because neither one of us brought lunch. So we were resorted to microwave popcorn and Lara bars for lunch.
Yep. Which was just perfect.
Good stuff. M&Ms for dessert.
M&Ms, yep. Sorry, those are M&M seminar guys. Those were the ones that you guys had for a while there. We do what we can when we're hungry. We're at 36, Nadine. I think if you want to start, since it's still recording, then people who aren't here will be able to, we can send it out to them or however we want to make that work.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. It's good to see everybody. Let me maybe show of hands who got their packet in the mail.
Ooh, that looks good.
Hopefully a bunch of you. Yes. Yay. Okay, good. I like the thumbs up. Okay, good. So I think I was just gonna go through it super quick, and feel free to ask questions as we go or save your questions and then we can kind of go through. A number of you have emailed me and they're super similar questions. So I'd love it if we can just kind of all tackle it as a group. I just, I love like doing customized and like having one-on-one with you guys, but I am completely overwhelmed. And so the more we can do together as a team, the better I can probably respond to you. So if we can get stuff all answered tonight, that'd be great. If it's something super personal, do not worry. Like you can email me or that kind of stuff for those kinds of questions. So I don't want anyone feeling like they can't ask. So, okay, so I am gonna go ahead and share my screen here. All right, so and go through this. So this sheet you guys all got, except it's green. And this sort of just kind of tells you exactly what I need you to do. And it's a combination of what the state's requiring you to do and what Bethel requires you to do. So hopefully this kind of goes or made some sense. You need to complete all your coursework in order for your degree to be awarded by the registrar, and then pass content and pedagogy exams. And we'll talk about that in a little bit here.
Can I add, Nadine, quick? All of your grades are entered for student teaching if you're on the elementary level. So you don't have to be chasing down your supervisor to get that to the registrar. So they are in for elementary so that we can move forward with the licensing as soon as possible.
Perfect. Yes. So if you guys can check in Banner and see if your grade for any non-elementary ed students, if you're 512, 912, K12, or 5-8, please go in and check. And if you have an endorsement, check on that one too and make sure that they get added. And then, and if any of you are taking a P-TAG right now or taking another course, see if your instructor can get that grade in. Just let them know that we're trying to get on your license application so that the degrees can get awarded. I believe she's going to be starting either at the very end of next week, but for sure the week after, the beginning of June is when that kind of gets started usually. So, and then your exit survey, that was emailed to you 2 weeks ago when we originally were supposed to have the license seminar. So that went from Jackie. Jackie talked to me the other day and said she only had 26. So we do go through that list, and we will kind of send you a really special email again. So if you guys can go back and try to get that done, that would be great. If you were a fall student teacher, you had that email back in the fall, and so you likely did it back in the fall. So and if you didn't, just do a search on your email for exit survey and it'll still be open for you. That information is super critical for us as a program. It goes through our accreditation, and we have to have a certain number of students responding, and the data goes out and actually compares us against all other private institutions in Minnesota. So thank you in advance for getting that done. Okay, so then comes the paper application. We'll walk through that and ask any questions. Hopefully most of you have been able to look at that and get that done. And then let's see. Oh, then I was just giving you specific directions on Tier 3. These are like common questions on the application in the different sections 1 through 5. Then the release of information and all these other forms, we'll kind of go through those individually here. So let's see. So this form, your program checklist, this is basically the form that goes into your Bethel file, and this is my audit form. So when the state comes and audits me, this is the information that I have to share with them. So does anybody have questions on this form? I don't see everybody. So maybe you can help me, Becky. How do I?
Yeah, there we go.
Muted.
I know, as I'm telling, they just need to take their mute off if they have a question, or they can raise their hand, and then that will show up at under participants that someone's raising their hand. And I don't have anybody raising their hand at this point, so speak or forever hold. No, speak or wait till later to ask Nadine.
Okay. Okay. So is my screen still on the form?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so anybody have questions on this form? Okay, we'll move to the next one. Oops. All right, this is a special new form that you guys get to fill out. This is a big one that's being talked about right now in the state. So when they come and audit me for this one, Actually, I have to turn in a form next week that summarizes all this information from you guys. Or actually it's due the beginning of June. Is that next week already? Gosh, crazy. Okay, so if you guys, what I forgot to do was put a spot for your name. So if you could either put your name in the corner, or, I mean, I'll just write it on if you're submitting it with your whole application and you can't print it and you're doing it, or if you are submitting this otherwise, I can just put your name on it too when it all comes in the packet. But if you think of it, if you can get your name on it, that'd be great. Becky, do you want to give, if anybody still is filling this in, Becky offered to help me out a little bit because I'm not a teacher. So to give examples possibly of what you guys have been doing during student teaching that the state would want to know about for this.
Yeah, you guys, from what I've seen from students, I've seen people coming up with new technology and apps for their teachers to use. You could talk about that. Talk about morning meetings, talk about synchronous and asynchronous videos that you've created, that you've recorded with PowerPoints that you've sent out. Typically how that you're doing even staff meetings. Some of you are going to staff meetings on a regular basis that are synchronous, so you can make sure that you put those in. But just 2 or 3 paragraphs that will just say, in my student teaching during this virtual time, these are the activities that I've been doing, and maybe how it was benefiting your teacher and a little bit of what you learned from it in that time. Does that sound about right, Nadine?
Yeah, even that gave me an idea, even like parent-teacher conferences, like, so it doesn't need to be stuff that's unique to COVID. It needs to be even like all the normal stuff that you should have and would have learned in a regular setting. So they're basically asking us to prove that you still meet the same qualifications that somebody would have met if you had spent 14 weeks face-to-face, which we feel super strong about, but we just have to have it in writing and from each of you individually. Are there questions on this?
Yeah, I have a question. Was it
Okay.
this form that you had mentioned that we needed it signed by our CT?
I did. If you can, that's great. I realize that this is like super difficult to do. If you could get it from a signature from your cooperating teacher, or from your Bethel supervisor, or even if it's an email that like they have seen it and verified it and you want to submit that with this, that's totally fine. If you cannot, I completely understand. I am expecting you guys to just, tell me what you did. I'm not going to be questioning that at all. So it's just they're asking ideally to have like some form of verification from a supervisor role. But I'm understanding that might not be possible. So given structural issues and stuff. So if you can, please do. If you can't, even an email from them saying that they verified that whatever you wrote on this document is true is good.
There was a question.
Okay. Is that helpful?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
If you could do it, if you have to do paragraphs, or could you list them in bullets?
Yep. Bulleted form. I love bullets. I'm kind of a bullet person. So I think it's, so if they're just ideas that are coming to you and you want to bullet it, you feel free to do that. I was suggesting 2 or 3 paragraphs just so that you understood the, like, kind of the length, and maybe like, I don't need like super detail, but I just need, yeah. So a listing in a bullet format is perfectly fine.
Can we make like an additional paper, and like if we were getting a signature, like let's say on a PDF or something from our cooperating teacher, like online, could we print that out and then just like put it together with it?
Yes. It doesn't all have to be on the same page. Yeah.
Good. Thanks.
Yeah. So if you want to send me a printout of the email that you had, that is totally fine. Mm-hmm.
There's another question. Is there a due date we should get this turned in by?
So to be super clear, all of this needs to come back to me in the envelope that I gave you. So all at once.